Hello everyone, welcome back to my home English network. Today's story is about Liza and Burhan's love. The first meeting. It was a cool Monday morning. The rain had just stopped, and the streets looked fresh and clean. Birds were singing, and students were walking toward Green Valley College with smiles on their faces. Burhan was a kind and hard-working student. He loved reading books and dreamed of becoming an English teacher one day. He believed that knowledge could change lives. Every morning, he reached college early and spent some time in the library. That morning, Burhan was carrying a few English books. As he walked into the library, he accidentally bumped into someone. "Oh, I'm so sorry," he said politely. A soft voice replied, "It's okay. It was my mistake too." Burhan looked up and saw a beautiful girl with long brown hair and kind eyes. She smiled warmly. "My name is Liza," she said. "I'm Burhan," he replied with a shy smile. They picked up the books together. One of the books was called, Learn English Through Stories. "You like English stories too?" Burhan asked. Liza smiled. "Yes, they make learning English easy and fun." Burhan laughed. "I think we already have something in common." From that day, they started meeting in the library almost every afternoon. They helped each other with English grammar, pronunciation, and speaking practice. One day, Liza asked, "Why do you love English so much?" Burhan smiled and answered, "Because I want to teach people. I want to help students speak English confidently." Liza looked impressed. "That's a beautiful dream," she said. "What about you?" Burhan asked. "I want to become a writer," Liza replied. "I want to write stories that inspire people." Burhan smiled. "I believe you can do it." Days passed, and their friendship became stronger. Every morning they greeted each other. "Good morning, Burhan." "Good morning, Liza." They laughed together, studied together, and sometimes shared coffee after class. One rainy afternoon, Burhan forgot his umbrella. Liza noticed. "You can share mine," she said with a smile. They walked slowly under one umbrella while the rain fell around them. Neither of them spoke much. Sometimes silence says more than words. Burhan looked at the beautiful sky. "I love rainy days," he said. "So do I," Liza replied. Rain makes everything peaceful. As they walked, Burhan felt something new in his heart. He wasn't sure what it was. But every time he looked at Liza, he felt happy. Weeks turned into months. Everyone in college noticed their friendship. One day, Burhan's best friend Ali teased him. "You like Liza, don't you?" Burhan smiled nervously. "We're just good friends." Ali laughed. "Friends don't smile like that every time they hear someone's name." Burhan couldn't stop smiling. Maybe Ali was right. One evening, Burhan was sitting alone in the library. Liza came quietly and sat beside him. "What happened?" she asked. "You look worried." Burhan sighed. "My father lost his job last week." Liza's smile disappeared. "I'm sorry. Our financial situation is difficult now." For a few moments, neither of them spoke. Then Liza gently said, "Burhan, difficult times don't last forever. You are strong. You will succeed." Burhan looked at her with gratitude. "Thank you. No one has ever believed in me like this." Liza smiled warmly. "I'll always believe in you." Those words touched Burhan's heart deeply. From that day, their bond became even stronger. The next week, college announced an English speech competition. The winner would receive a scholarship. Burhan wanted to participate, but he had lost his confidence. "What if I fail?" he asked. Liza smiled. "You won't. But what if I make mistakes?" "Everyone makes mistakes. The brave people keep trying." Every evening, Liza helped Burhan prepare his speech. She corrected his pronunciation. She encouraged him whenever he felt nervous. Finally, the competition day arrived. Hundreds of students gathered in the auditorium. Burhan's hands were shaking. Liza whispered, "You can do this. I believe in you." Those words gave him courage. Burhan walked onto the stage. He took a deep breath. Then he started speaking confidently. His speech was about dreams, hard work, and hope. Everyone listened carefully. When he finished, the hall became silent for a second. Then loud applause filled the room. Liza stood up first and clapped proudly. Burhan smiled. Later that evening, the principal announced the winner. "The first prize goes to..." Burhan closed his eyes. Burhan Ahmed. The audience cheered loudly. Burhan couldn't believe it. He looked toward Liza. She had tears of happiness in her eyes. After the ceremony, Burhan walked toward her. "This victory belongs to both of us." Liza smiled. "No, you earned it, but I couldn't have done it without you." For a moment, they looked into each other's eyes. Neither of them spoke. Their hearts already knew what words had not yet said. But life was about to test their friendships. The next morning, Liza received a phone call that changed everything. Her father had been offered a new job in another city, and the whole family had to move within a week. Liza sat quietly on a bench in the college garden. Tears filled her eyes. Burhan saw her from a distance and walked over. "What's wrong, Liza?" he asked softly. Liza looked at him with a trembling smile. "I'm leaving." Burhan's heart skipped a beat. "Leaving? What do you mean?" "My family is moving to another city." Burhan couldn't speak. It felt like the world had suddenly become silent. "When?" he finally asked. "Next Friday." For a few seconds, neither of them said a word. The wind blew gently through the trees. "I'll miss you," Burhan whispered. "I'll miss you too," Liza replied. The days passed quickly. Every moment together became precious. They spent time in the library, walked through the college garden, and talked about their dreams. One evening, they sat beside a small lake as the sun slowly disappeared. Liza smiled. "Promise me you'll never stop chasing your dreams." Burhan nodded. "I promise. And you?" "I'll never stop writing stories." They laughed together, hiding the sadness in their hearts. The last day of college finally arrived. Students were saying goodbye to each other. Liza held a small gift in her hands. "This is for you." Burhan opened it carefully. Inside was a beautiful notebook. On the first page, Liza had written, "Never stop believing in yourself. Every great story begins with hope." Burhan smiled, but tears rolled down his face. "I'll keep this forever." Liza looked into his eyes. "So will I." As she turned to leave, Burhan suddenly called her name. "Liza." She stopped. Burhan took a deep breath. "There is something I've wanted to tell you for a long time." Liza waited silently. Burhan's voice shook. "When we first met in the library, I thought I had found a good friend. But day after day, you became the reason I smiled. The reason I worked harder. The reason I believed in myself." He looked into her eyes. "Liza, I love you." Tears filled Liza's eyes. She smiled through them. "I was waiting for you to say that." "I love you too, Burhan." For the first time, they held each other's hands. It felt like time had stopped. But reality soon returned. Liza had to leave. They hugged each other one last time. "I'll come back one day," Liza whispered. "I'll wait," Burhan replied. Months passed. Burhan focused on his studies. Whenever he missed Liza, he opened the notebook she had given him. Her words always gave him strength. Meanwhile, Liza started writing short English stories. Every week, they talked on video calls. Distance could not separate two hearts that truly loved each other. 2 years later, Burhan graduated from college with excellent grades. He became an English teacher, just as he had dreamed. His students loved his lessons because he always taught through stories. One afternoon, Burhan received a message. "I'm coming back tomorrow." It was from Liza. He smiled so widely that everyone noticed. The next day, Burhan stood at the railway station with a bouquet of flowers. The train arrived. Passengers slowly walked out. Then, he saw her. Liza was standing there with the same beautiful smile. They walked toward each other. Neither of them spoke. Words were no longer necessary. "I'm home," Liza said. Burhan smiled. "Welcome home." Months later, Burhan organized a small event for his students. Liza was invited as a guest writer. Together, they inspired hundreds of young students to learn English through stories. One evening after the event, Burhan took Liza to the same park where they had once shared an umbrella. The rain began again. Burhan smiled. "Looks like the weather remembers us." Liza laughed. "So do I." Burhan knelt down and took out a small ring. "Liza, you've been my best friend, my biggest supporter, and the love of my life. Will you marry me?" Liza covered her mouth in surprise. Happy tears filled her eyes. "Yes, yes, I will." People around them clapped with joy. A few months later, they got married in a simple but beautiful ceremony. Their family and friends celebrated with smiles and blessings. Years later, Burhan and Liza opened a small English learning center called Home English Network. Burhan taught English speaking. Liza taught students how to write beautiful stories. Together, they helped thousands of learners achieve their dreams. Whenever a student asked them, "How did your story begin?" they smiled at each other and answered, "With one small accident, in a library." The end. Moral of the story: true love is built on friendship, trust, respect, and support. When two people believe in each other's dreams, no distance or difficulty can keep them apart.